Hello everybody, welcome to a new video and cheers to you if you're having a cup of tea. Wow, it's an exciting week for us in the UK. We're very close to being back to normal, so we're allowed indoors now with other people, maximum of 6 people I think from different households. Oh, so yeah, for some people that's going to make such a huge difference. I have to admit, for me it doesn't in my day-to-day life. I'm still carrying on working on my own from home, you know, luckily with family around me, so I see people, and does mean book club can meet indoors now, which will be nice, a bit warmer. So yeah, things are gradually coming back to normal. All of us now have had our vaccines, our first dose anyway, and that is obviously such a relief. It just puts your mind at rest a bit, doesn't it? It's been a funny week because I'm sort of aware of the excitement of the rest of the country, but I have been so low in energy this week. I've been so tired, and for no really obvious reason apart from the fact that last Saturday we went out, so I suppose that has a knock-on effect for me. So I've not been doing very much activity this week after done loads of editing, trying to get ahead on that, but that's always difficult. I did get my first exclusive video up for patrons this week, which was exciting. That's really nice to do. I've also been drawing. Where's my sketchbook? I'll get it and I'll show you what I've been using. So I've done a couple of bargain bits of shopping on the internet, on eBay. So I've recently bought a small tin of Derwent coloursoft pencils. Can be a bit confusing with Derwent. I've talked about them before in my watercolour pencil video, and they've got so many varieties, it really is difficult to choose from. But now I've tried out most of them. I think it's only the light fast range I haven't tried, I think, because I've also bought a tin of the procolour pencils. So I started this picture of foxgloves with the coloursoft. So I haven't had much of a go with them, but I've got a rough idea of what they're like. And then I did that picture there, a sunset over Glastonbury tour, which is a view from just over in the field, and that one I did with the procolours. So if you're interested in buying a nice set of coloured pencils, not watercolours, I do recommend the procolour pencils. It is a bit down to preference because I still have my tin from when I was 8 years old. I was given that for my birthday, of the Derwent Artist's colours. So these are the original ones. I don't know if they've changed their formula since I was given these, but I think they're the same as they are now. So they're quite hard pencils without very much pigment. So if you like fine details, then I think these are the better pencils. And then I did find that the coloursoft pencils, I really liked these. I want to try and get myself a larger tin of these because I like being able to draw faster. With the harder pencils it takes longer, whereas with these I was managing to lay down a lot of colour much quicker. I think they seem to be more pigmented, so you're getting a much stronger colour quite quickly as well with these. I've read that other people find they crumble too much or they break, but I think they're just pressing too hard. I've always pressed quite lightly on my pencils, and therefore I think these are my favourite. But if you're not sure which to go for, then go for the procolours because they are literally part way in between. Yeah, they're not as hard as the original Artist and they're not as soft as the coloursoft. Yeah, I found those to be really nice to use actually. Very blendable with each other, and yeah, I enjoyed doing that picture. I hope you can hear me over the noise of the weather. It's a horrible day again. We've really had the most rubbish spring ever, and it's so cold still. I've got my radiator on in the end of May. It's ridiculous, it really is. That's nice and warming. We did have a fairly nice day yesterday, and the fact that it was actually dry, it wasn't raining, it was still cold, there was still a cold wind, but I did manage to get outside and I planted a couple more flowers that I had from my birthday garden centre haul, which I still haven't finished planting. I've still got a tray of fuchsias to do in the pots in the sort of patio area out there. think we're going to need a new washing rack. Yeah, so that was nice. I got that little job done, and I did take Merlin on a lovely long walk, which was nice because most of this week his walks have been quite short because of the weather and it's just been miserable. So I was glad to do that. Okay, I think I found a spot out of the wind so that you might be able to hear me. But there's Glastonbury Tor over there. It's a little bit hazy today. And then if I turn that way, let me just get my bearings there. That metal structure there is the pyramid stage at Glastonbury Festival. Sorry, I'm really zoomed in. I can't hold it still enough. I'm being a bit shaky here today. Today is going to be the live streaming of Worthy Farm Live. I'm not sure why they're calling it live because they've just spent the entire week filming over there. I don't know if you can see up there. Let me see if I can point it out to you. Up there is the stone circle. So it's not live at all. I don't know why they called it Worthy Farm Live because it's all been pre-recorded. So yeah, we've had quite a few famous people in the village this week. Haven't seen any of them though. So that was really nice. The cow parsley on the sides of the lanes around here at the moment, it's just like frothy white clouds. It's so pretty, but sadly the bluebells are going now already. They're so pretty. It's a shame they don't last longer, it really is. Well, I was editing last week's video and I thought actually you might like to have seen some of the things I skipped over. I think probably the best thing to do is put you on the tripod and I'll sit on the floor to show you them. So I thought I'd do a little fabric haul with you. I actually bought this lot a little while ago, I just haven't sorted it out yet. And I haven't really had a proper look through. I think I was in a rush or I was busy the day it turned up, so it'd be nice for me to see them again as well. So it's another eBay bargain. I think I've mentioned before that eBay is a little bit of a hobby of mine at the moment. I think it's partly because, yeah, it's been a real down state of the world lately, hasn't it? And I think when I get a bit down, retail therapy could be a bit dangerous. But luckily I love a bargain, so I'm always on eBay, and what happens is that I spend my evening looking through eBay, adding things to my watch list, and sometimes that's enough. I don't actually need to buy anything, just finding something that's nice, that sort of gets it out my system. And the good thing about eBay is of course the listing doesn't end for another couple of days, and by then I'm fine. But this was such a bargain that I had to get it. So it's mainly, I think, like tablecloths and stuff like that, serviettes. So let's have a look. I don't know how many is in sets. I think this is a random one on its own. So this is probably a serviette, or is it a tray cloth? What's the difference between a tray cloth and a serviette? A serviette's always square? I'm not sure. But there's some lovely blue embroidery in the corners of that. That one's very pristine and white. That's lovely. The trouble with these things is I sometimes can't decide whether to use the thing as fabric and make something else out of it, or to keep it for its original purpose. Like, do I want like a lovely set of white serviettes with some nice cut-out embroidery on them like that? We don't have serviettes. But it would be nice too. They always add to your tablescape, don't they, when you've got family around? I might just keep them rather than trying to make anything out of them. I presume there's a, yeah, here's the matching tablecloth. So it looks like it's a rectangular shape. So it might be ideal for our table. Don't know if that's coming up on camera. Oh, there's nothing like a crisp white tablecloth, is there? And we have a Christmas, is this a, oh, these are serviettes as well. Oh, these are quite badly stained. They've got a lovely little sort of Christmas bit of embroidery in the corners, but I think these are all quite badly stained. Yes, they are. So I'm guessing these are gonna go in my to be dyed pile. Do I have a to be dyed pile? Did have at one point. And then I will be using those for Threads of a Fairy Tale. Wow, oh no, another This looks huge. A lace tablecloth. It's massive. Oh wow. There's nothing quite like a white lace tablecloth, is there? Oh, this is vintage St Michael. St Michael is Marks and Spencer's. Marks and Spencer's is like a British institution. It's one of those shops that we just feel like we've had for centuries. Well known for its quality products at a reasonable price. So I'm always on the lookout for large pieces of lace because they're good for wedding dresses. But actually this is quite heavy. Probably not the best fabric for a wedding dress. So I think I might just keep it for myself. Oh dear, I'm gonna have to find somewhere to keep it. It's quite big. I just thought what else I could use it for though, because the weather has been so rubbish and we still haven't managed to do a Threads of a Fairy Tale photo shoot. I've got a feeling I might end up just putting some of these clothes on the mannequin because I feel like I've had them for so long now. I really need to get them in the shop, and this bit of lace would be a very nice backdrop to that. Yes, it would. So I might use it for that. Oh dear. I think I've swallowed a bit of that tea because I was busy filming. I don't think all of those loose flakes of tea went in the tea bag, and I think I've got a bit caught in my throat. Oh dear. Now this is more likely to be used for Threads of a Fairy Tale. We've got some lighter weight lace here. This is also a tablecloth, I think, but this is much more dainty. So there we are. There's probably some bridal fabric from a vintage lace tablecloth. Why not? This is a smaller tablecloth, badly stained, this one, so I think this will also be dyed. We've got another set of serviettes. These are a much more natural linen colour with some embroidery in the corner. Very Art Nouveau. They're nice. Another white tablecloth, smaller one. I wonder if these are from the 1930s. These are very Art Nouveau patterns, that sort of era style, I think. Difficult to know whether it's worth bothering trying to bleach or just dye it. And lastly in this bundle, another vintage tablecloth. Again, much more natural beigey sort of colour. Sadly, a vintage shop, I presume, has put their price label on a sticker on the fabric and it's left a mark. Oh, that's so frustrating. That's so frustrating when places do that. That's a pretty tablecloth. I like that design. And I like the scalloped lace around the edges as well. Oh no, I'm gonna want to keep this as well. I do love a vintage tablecloth. What can I say? So that's them. I'll bring you up close for the little pile of antique stuff here. Right, let me go through these fairly quickly if I can. Got this lovely antique lace. Oh, this is where I wish my knowledge was on this sort of thing was more extensive. I've done some research, but obviously not enough because I have no idea what this is. If anyone knows, let me know. So we've got like a point on that end and then a sort of gather on that side. What was that used for? I don't know. Does it just go sort of at the neckline and hang down? Oh, it could do, couldn't it? Like a little necktie, neck scarf type thing. We've got some very old lace here, sadly a bit damaged, but yeah, that will make some lovely edging. Just a little piece of embroidery anglais, a little bit of lace there. This is curved, so it's probably a neckline. Oh, this is bobbin lace. This is absolutely beautiful. Look at how intricate that is. I love it. Look, a whole top section of a bodice with some bits hanging down. What are these then? Is that so you can reattach it to different bottom halves? I don't know. If there are any antique clothing experts out there, I would love to know, because I'd love to use this in making a silk camisole or something. This is the problem I have. I want to make so many different types of clothing and use these antique lace pieces and vintage lace pieces. Oh, that's a lovely collar. See, that's bit damaged, bit stained there. I might very carefully try and clean it, but again, this is lovely bobbin lace. Look at that, absolutely stunning. Just a piece of antique muslin, I think. Oh, that could be Georgian. That could so be like from a Regency dress. That is the finest, most beautiful antique muslin. Wow. And I love, like, I'd love to particularly add some of these lacy bits to collars. I'm loving the cottagecore style that's very much in fashion at the moment and fits perfectly with my fairy tale themes shop. These pieces are lovely, but it's trying to, I mean, I just need so many more hours in the day to get everything that I want to make done. This is really fine silk with this gorgeous embroidered scalloped edge. Oh, let me know if you're in a similar situation where there are more things you want to make than you've got time to do. Look at that lace there. Isn't that pretty? Another lovely white collar. Look at the hand sewn white work on that. So pretty. And I love that all these pieces have a story. Somebody wore them. Oh, is this a maid's cap? Part of a maid's cap, possibly. See, this has got a number written on it, stamped on it. 2247. It's like, why? Why is that number there? What's the story behind that? And I know that the little marks here, see that little embroidered thread there, I know that these were used to mark out which household owned the item, because even I think I got this information at Lanhydrock Natural Trust House in Cornwall. Even a ginormous stately home like that outsourced their laundry, and so it was taken away in a cart, and everything has a little embroidered stitching in the corner to identify it, so the washerwomen in the village knew exactly where to return everything in case it got mixed up with other stuff. I'd love to know which household did this come from, and I've got quite a few pieces like that with a little embroidered mark in the corner as well. Oh, this is interesting. So it's like a fine mesh with like wool knitted patterned backing. So interesting. That's really soft wool as well. I guess for interest on a winter outfit. White work lace and a bit there, nearly there. I don't know what this would have been used for. Got an angled bit on one end and straight on the other end, so I don't know what that was. We've got a peachy piece here. Oh, that's silk. Oh, that's so lovely. I think that's a collar. Oh, that's so pretty. So pretty. A random piece of embroidered mesh. Another piece. Oh my gosh, these are so beautiful. Lastly, we've got a larger piece of cotton with some cut work in it. I don't know if this was a piece cut out of a dress, maybe from a night dress or something maybe. So yeah, that's that. So there we are. I can't wait to incorporate those bits into some of the clothes that I'm going to make. Oh, there are so many things I want to do. And I haven't even sewn anything this week. All I've done is on the maxi skirt I made last week, I've added a few more hitches because I noticed that a couple of the corners were still trailing on the floor a bit. That's all I've managed to do this week. I've been doing other work for Threads of a Fairy Tale. I've got some blog posts and news posts done, but it's been one of those weeks that has just flown by, and a bit frustrating when you don't get done enough as what you want to do. I am conserving a little bit of my energy because my parents are coming to stay for a couple of days, not the coming week but the week after, but it will take me that long to get the house ready for that. There's still Christmas boxes stacked up in the guest room that I will probably put in the roof later today. It's not gonna go, not in the space that I wanted it to. There, that's the last box and it won't fit in. What's behind my head? Oh, and then I will also hopefully try and do today is that tutu that I mentioned last week. So I have started it. The pair of trousers that's going to be the lining I have cut up ready. So we now have some nice silk to create the lining of the tutu skirt. So I also wanted to get the living room done before they came. Yesterday I almost finished the living room until I ran out of paint. the final bit of the room I've now painted. However, that little bit down there by the stairs is not complete, and it looks alright from a distance, but you look close up and you've got quite obvious brush marks and it's quite thin. I was watering it down a lot because I've now run out of paint. So we need to get a tester pot. I've actually got probably just enough to do that bit, actually, and go over some of the worst bits on the on the wall. But that bit up there, I will definitely need to buy a tester pot to finish off that, which you can't really see, it's a bit too dark. So that bit is still the original dark blue. So not totally finished, but you know, getting there. And hopefully that will be completely finished by the time they come, which will be nice. At least the painting bit. Obviously we still need to do other bits around the room, the floor, the ceiling. Yeah, that sort of essential items that make a room. I think that's all I've got to show you from this week. It's a bit of a shorter one, but I can't believe how long my previous videos have been. So if you didn't get to the end of any of those, then go back and watch the end of them if you'd like to watch some more. Or don't forget, my YouTube channel now has been going on for over 5 years, I think. Yeah, about 5 years, 6 years even. So there's plenty of videos to go back and watch, although I don't know why I'm saying that, because some of those old ones are embarrassingly bad. The editing was terrible, I was terrible. But anyway, entertainment if you're bored, if you've got a rainy day like this and nothing better to do than to go and watch them. And I will leave you clips. I'm gonna make that tutu today because I really want to get started on something new on Monday. So I'll leave you with clips of making that, and I will see you again next time. Thank you for watching and take care. And let me know in the comments what you're getting up to now that lockdown is lifting. Tell me your exciting news. Are you seeing friends? Are you seeing family? Are you going back to your clubs and stuff like that? Like I said, book club, we've met in people's gardens when we can, when the weather's been okay. And I think our choir is going to be meeting outside again if the weather is okay. And I guess our writing group will start again soon, which will be nice. Haven't seen that lot for a long time. Yeah, let me know what you're managing to get back to doing. If that's the case in your country, I've just realised I feel really bad. It's not like that for everyone. You might be watching and you're thinking, oh, that's a long way away for us yet. If so, I'm really sorry. I hope it gets better for you very soon. So everyone, take care, have a great week, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.